Guten Tag.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to flu season here in the Midwest.
Yeah.
At least allergy season.
Knock on wood, we don't have the flu,
Not yet,
but
but
the allergies. Yeah.
Joe is allergy dying right now.
For 2 weeks.
2 weeks
By the
out.
way, Jeff on Patreon, thank you so much for expressing your concern about my cold. It's not a cold; it's just my nasal cavity.
We do appreciate the nice thing people say on Patreon and YouTube.
We do. You guys are awesome.
Yes, thank you for feeding our very very bruised egos and fixing our rotten childhoods for us.
We matter.
You like me. You really like me. I get it, Sally Field.
But
Back to Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
We're almost to the end of season 5, which means we are coming to a close on the series,
I know,
which
and
is really sad for us.
I'm
Our
try-
first show.
I'm trying not to think about it because
Yeah.
this has been a fantastic show and an even better season. I feel
Right.
like each season has definitely gotten better and better.
Right.
Not only in terms of like quality, but in production and just ultimately chemistry between the cast. Like they feel very comfortable with one another.
And just where they've taken everybody, the characters, in terms of their relationships and everything. It's
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like the world feels more and more lived in.
It does.
And these characters do, and their relationship, the evolution of their relationships really makes sense.
Mhm.
It's just an incredibly well done show.
It
Kudos
feels
to
like
the
a real
Levies.
place.
Yeah, it really
Well,
does.
obviously, it is a real place. They filmed it somewhere, but you know,
Right,
but you know what I
right.
mean. Yeah,
Like the world of this show feels real.
it does.
And people talk about this ended right when the show hit its peak.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I get why now. I didn't earlier. Like when the season started, I was like, why didn't you just do this forever? And I get why they don't, because I mean, as we get to this point, it's really clear that this show, from where it started, this is a journey show, right?
It is.
This show is about the journey and the quest for the roses to kind of become their best versions of themselves. I
Yeah.
feel like, because I've had people in my family I've tried to talk into watching the show. I'm like, well, what is it about? Because the name, you hear the name Schitt's Creek, and like, okay,
Yeah.
this sounds juvenile, and like not even a little bit.
No.
The show's really about a wealthy family who loses everything, and then their quest to kind of figure out who they really are and what they can really be.
The inverse of the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And I feel like once you get there, why keep going? You know what I mean? The story is the journey. Like,
And also, it's so different. It goes out of its way to be such a different sitcom, to
Right.
where if it did keep going for so long, it would become that. You know?
I think so. I think it would
Yeah.
revert into like once you get your characters where you want them, right? Like I'm fully self-actualized as the person I want to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can have 2-3 more seasons of like this funny person comes to town,
Yeah.
or this misunderstanding Three's Company style happens, which you can have fun with that, and they can be funny and they can be worth watching.
It can.
But I feel like it would cheapen what the show is.
It really would. And in today's era of modern TV,
Right.
of like shows like this, Ted Lasso, Maisel,
Mhm.
they have those 3 shows specifically, and I guess you can throw Fleabag in there, have a very familiar tone
Mhm.
where it's very hopeful.
Yeah.
And also it subverts those expectations that we've been dealing with forever. Like, for example, in the last episode with Patrick's parents,
Right.
we thought it was going to get dark there for a second.
Yeah.
Didn't even cross the show's mind.
No,
At all.
It was so good. That was one of my favorite episodes. It was my favorite of the
Truly.
season and one of my favorite episodes of the series
And it's
so
like,
far.
thank God. I mean, how many
Right.
times have we seen that trope before in a show or movie?
Yeah, we didn't need another one.
Yeah, and it's,
Right.
I mean, look, I get it's true to life, but at the same time, like, this is a more mature show and also progressive show too.
But yeah, and also a more positive show.
Exactly,
Like the world doesn't have to be a horrible place
not
all
have
of the
to be.
time.
Nope.
The people's capacity for goodness
Mhm.
can actually win out on television.
It really can, yeah.
And like I said, it would have been cheapened if they would have, just kept going to keep going.
Mm.
Like you remember Return of the King, right?
Of course, all 5 hours.
Yeah, I love those movies, and
They're
I
fantastic,
have
yeah.
nothing bad to say about them. The only critique I had with Return of the King is it's a journey story, right? A
Yeah.
3-movie journey story, and I've read the books.
Yeah.
And
The novel has more endings.
right, it does.
Yeah, it does.
And then you get to the Return of the King. It's like, okay, the journey's over. Task accomplished. MacGuffin dealt with.
Yeah.
And then another ending, and then another ending, and then
A lot to wrap up,
like
yeah.
a lot of people who hadn't read the books were like, there's like 9 innings into this movie. And I'm like, well, there's 10 in the book.
It's like, I have to pee.
We still have the Scouring of the Shire. They didn't bother. They didn't
even touch it.
They didn't touch it.
Yeah.
Which is a long extra ending that shouldn't have been there.
Truly.
At least not in the films. I'm glad it wasn't in the films. Is my point. But
Yeah.
this show, I don't want this show to do that, right? I want it to find the right note at the end and leave us feeling as great as we do as we have on the journey watching the show.
I do too. And
no bad taste in the mouth of why didn't you just end this?
And I'm sure it's going to be an emotional, bittersweet ending too. You know
For
what I mean?
sure.
Like this show has just been such a light on this channel that I'm really going to miss it when it's gone.
Our very first show that we ever started.
Yeah. This was it.
This was our very first show. Our very first Patreon subscriber was on this show.
It's up there on the wall,
right?
Yeah.
Our very first YouTube comment was from someone watching this show. God, I'm gonna miss it when it's
I know.
done.
I'm getting a little weepy right now
We
thinking
still
about
have
it.
a season left.
Yeah.
It's not like over. We do want to welcome a few Patreon subscribers for the last couple days, guys. So, Audi, Cheyenne, Holly Butcher, Kevin Patrick, and Jessica. Thanks so much, guys, and welcome. We are really, really glad you're here with us.
We sure are. And if you guys are watching us on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
Hello.
If you don't mind hitting the like button for us, leave us a comment down below, and please hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the new content we have coming your way.
Yeah, and if you'd like to see a full-length reaction to Schitt's Creek and everything else we've watched or are watching, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page. There's an awful lot of stuff over there for you to jump in and sync and watch along with us on your own source material. You won't be able to see or hear it there. If you're watching this episode of Schitt's Creek on YouTube, we are 4 episodes ahead right now over on Patreon. So if you want to jump over there, you can watch the next 4 episodes right along with us and get all Cotsies upsies with where we are right now. We're also watching 30 Rock as a Patreon exclusive right now. We are. Yeah, we are. We do. After West Wing, we get to watch 30 Rock too. All right.
Because it looks like the two of you have been engaged in general merriment for quite some time now.
Did he just say merriment?
I think he did.
That's what happens when I spend too much time with my mother, and I blame you two for it. I spent 2.5 hours going over a costume lineup for the show, all so that the two of you could sneak off to some secret dance rehearsal behind her back. Like
This money number is so complicated that if we don't get the outside help, we will be laughed off stage. You've seen me dance.
one more session? I thought last night was the last session.
Well, we couldn't nail the final lift.
What is this, dirty dancing?
Then I guess we can just tell her we're getting outside help.
Good luck. Felt so betrayed, she forgot to double knot my tap shoes and cost me the crown. So, I will cover for you for one more night.
I've been thinking about maybe taking a longer break from work.
Oh.
I'm listening.
What if we got out of town? I don't know, somewhere that would have beaches for you and some interesting wildlife for me.
Okay. I've just been to Miami so many times before and
I'm talking
my
about
God.
farther away, like, I don't know.
South America?
Yeah.
The Galapagos Islands.
That would be pretty amazing.
Really?
Awesome, yeah.
While we're just spitballing here, you know, it could be kind of fun to go somewhere that you've never been before. Like, I don't know, the Galapagos Islands.
Does he have like a job thing he wants to do there?
I think that's what he's getting at.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like he's talking vacation
It's
for
either that or a
him.
new experience for the both of
Right.
them, you know?
somewhere so good.
Ted, be straightforward. Tell her you need to go to Galapagos Island.
Boy, we are really gonna miss Moira tonight at the annual Mayor's Roast. I was looking forward to getting scorched.
Oh yeah, well
Oh,
she's
Trolla
gonna miss
getting
it
roast?
too.
Roast?
I'm more than capable of taking Moira's place.
Johnny, I don't think so. Those are pretty high heels to fill.
Well, you better be spending this time toughening your skin because I've got more than a few rippers up my sleeve for tonight.
He's gonna go.
Yeah.
You are gonna get eaten alive tonight.
Awesome. He's like, all right, cool.
I
Meanest
would
choice,
just
right?
like-
Because I got your missive about wanting to sup this evening, and I'm afraid I must decline.
What? Why?
Rehearsals end sharply at 6, so either one of them should be free to dine with you thereafter.
I just don't think they're available tonight. They basically just go home and fall asleep, so actually, your show is stripping me of a social life.
Could use your eye for the final design of the posters. You employ the wrong font, and you may as well bid Alvita send a ticket sales.
Charles
Plan with
Darwin
that.
Research Center.
There it is.
What's
Yeah.
this?
Nothing. Just
You were one of 10 people selected for a research program.
That's awesome.
Oh, what? Other than wanting to study some of the rarest and most diverse forms of plant and animal life on the planet? Yeah, I have plenty of people to pick from when I don't accept.
Oh,
Come on. You can't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me you were doing this? How long is the program?
6 months.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, see, this is why I didn't want to push it on you this morning. I
It's
wouldn't
so much.
stay if I didn't feel like it was the right choice for me.
Babe, are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
It's obviously not
Okay.
fine.
Okay. Yeah, it's not. He wants to go really bad.
So we're all good
I
then.
think he's mad because she won't just say, "I'll go with you."
Do you think this is it then?
Not. I was planning on these two getting married.
Me too.
And this isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying
It's
doing
not,
this as in
no.
a problem. He's right, and so is she. It's just a crap thing.
Right? Yeah, like
Bad circumstances for the
you
relationship.
can't make her go and you can't make him stay.
Right? Yeah, right.
Just thinking about Ted and me. Can't believe we've come such a long way, you know? Aw. Like I just found out that he got this crazy job opportunity
that she
and
wanted to
he's
talk to
turning it
somebody
down
about it, yeah.
just to be with me.
Wow, that must be totally heartbreaking for him.
Yeah.
But I guess relationships are all about sacrifice.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh, so he didn't ask you to go with him?
Yes, he did.
Not technically.
No. Yes, he
One
did.
day I hope I find a guy like Ted. Someone who would literally put all their hopes and dreams aside to be with me.
I just need some help sifting out the gold.
I still don't see why you dragged us into this.
Well, you can be a tough audience, Ronnie.
I would not want to tell jokes
Well,
to
it's
this crowd.
1791, and 3 explorers have landed.
Next.
Top 10 things you don't want Roland to be in charge of.
10 too many. Johnny, you gotta be short and quick, like rolling in the bedroom. You gotta go for the jugular. Just stay away from spouses, kids, and health, and you'll be fine.
Note you had about including my name on the poster as a sales tool. That's something I've been debating for some time now. Must pop by the rehearsal space. Jocelyn said some color samples were dropped off today.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if I need to see color samples. Well, why don't I just pick them up for you then?
Oh, God.
This is not on David.
You know what? Usually it's not on David.
Right?
Yeah.
This is very exhausting. I can hear him running out of breath.
I was gonna say, it's not bad, but it seems a little like exasperated.
Miss Rose, this is Derek. He's been just helping us practice the steps to the number.
So all this time I thought, poor David thought that you were home resting your
David thought-
instruments.
I'm so disappointed.
Skullduggery when it leads to such thrilling results. A pinch of moral corruption is a small price to pay.
Very impressed. Was not embarrassed at all. I thought I would be. So sweet.
You do too much for me. And so, I think it's time that I give something back to you. The last thing I want to do is stand between you and this job. You've worked so hard, and I'm so proud of you.
You sure?
No, but yes.
Alexis, you continue to amaze me. I can't wait to do this with you.
Close to the end of
Roland
season
likes
5,
to
so-
go with his gut. And boy, does he have a lot of gut to go with.
Oh!
I'm just gonna hand it over to the one who wears the pants in the Rose family. But Moira is not here right now.
We can do a
Be
roast
going
of
downhill
Johnny.
fast.
Yeah.
Which is what the town must have been thinking when Roland elected himself mayor. Oh, got a smile out of Ronnie. The last time anyone saw her this happy was at a 3-for-1 sale on cargo pants. Whoa! Keep things short and quick. Which reminds me of the last time I was in Roland's bedroom. Well, I wasn't in Roland's bedroom, but the punchline is it was short and quick.
Dang it.
Anyway, I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead, folks.
My God, Dad.
Why don't you take it easy, Alexis?
Are you still doing it?
Like
Yeah.
you did with your education. Smart enough to get that joke, but not smart enough to stop wearing sweaters in the middle of summer.
Burn, David.
A worthy competitor emerges. Something the good people at Blockbuster never said about Rose's video.
The roast could have been cringier.
It could have. It was a lot of fun, though. This was a fun episode.
I liked it, yeah.
Our ace story was definitely Alexis and Ted.
I thought so. Which, let's see if that happens. I don't know. It can go one of two ways.
Right. The only reason I think it wouldn't happen is the logistics of Alexis not being on the show for a while. I mean, I don't know how long the time breaks are between seasons.
Mhm.
It's possible, right, that they end the season with them going off to the Galapagos.
Yeah.
And we start the next season 6 months later with them coming back or relatively close to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But if it's going to be one of those things that it isn't that long of a time jump,
Sure.
then I don't know how Alexis goes and isn't on the show, or how you do scenes from the Galapagos if she does. You know what I mean?
Instead of tent.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's all interior tent stuff.
I think that okay. So if she does not go, that's the second time that she's bailed on Ted, right? Because he went after they broke off the engagement, that he just went to the honeymoon by himself, and then that was it. He went on his own spiritual journey, and they took a long time
Right.
getting them back together.
I don't think that's Alexis anymore. I think if she
I don't
doesn't
either.
go, it's going to be because it's so outside her comfort
Yes.
zone that Ted says, you know what? Let's do long distance. I'm going to go.
Mhm.
You stay here because I don't think you're going to be happy in this situation.
Yeah, well, it's in terms of storytelling. I think that like if she didn't go, it's like all right, that's twice. Yeah, I mean, so,
For sure. Right.
but if they do go, I can see the next season starting off and coming back from the trip
Right.
together,
That's it. Right.
and then being either madly in love more so than they are now, or a little irritated with one another because they
Sure.
spent 6 months together in a tent.
That's right.
And so the season can be kind of funny with like not like a breakup situation, but just like lovers quarrel.
I don't think this is a breakup situation.
I don't think so either.
I think it's either
Especially if they go with one another.
either she goes and then they're back, or Ted goes and they do long distance. But I don't think either one of them is childish enough to where they can't handle
each other.
Right, handle being apart from each other for 6 months. You know what I mean? That's not who Alexis is anymore, and that's never been who Ted is. I don't think.
No, Ted's the best.
So yeah, I think it might be like a long distance thing for a while, and that's how we do next season is them split for a time.
Mhm.
But I don't see how these two end their relationship like this.
Right?
Yeah.
There's just so many different ways you could go with that storyline. Obviously, because the show's it's constantly subverting expectations. So
And it could well be a thing where Ted goes and a week later he's back because he doesn't want to be there without Alexis.
he got malaria.
Right, yeah,
bad.
right, yeah, exactly. Any number of things can happen, but it is nice to see that we get this other moment, right, where Alexis, is at a crossroads with Ted, and this time she actually sacrifices for Ted instead of like, I'm going to go ahead and break up with you because I'm not who you need right now.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was a different situation before,
For sure.
And also Mutt was in play there too.
Right. I don't really miss Mutt. Is that weird?
No, me neither. It was nice that we got to see him there briefly.
Yeah, I mean, I never hated Mutt.
No.
I just kind of feel like with the journey that Ted and Alexis have been on, Mutt being around was kind of unnecessary at that point.
They ran out of stuff for him to do.
Right, for sure. Without their relationship, I don't. Yeah,
and shows do that. When you have an ensemble cast, sometimes it gets a little overstuffed.
Yep.
And this show is very focused.
Right.
Each storyline is it whizzes by. It's like
Sure.
bam, 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 and then you have this great resolution.
And we've added cast members too. Overstuffed is a good word for it because we've added cast members like Patrick.
Yeah.
We've developed cast members into more use like Ronnie
or Roland.
Right. Yeah. And so something's got to give. Otherwise, you're trying to pack.
But
too
also,
much.
it works because you buddy them up with somebody. Right. Patrick and David,
Mhm.
Roland and Johnny, I mean, Stevie and David as well. But it's like with Mutt being on the outs, then it's like, what are we gonna do? Focus on Mutt's day to day?
Yeah, exactly.
You know
Right.
what I mean?
Is Mutt going to be hanging around with Roland since that's his dad? I don't see Mutt wanting to do
And
that.
it would do his character a disservice too, because he
It
spent
would.
so much time in the first season with him. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So, just a great show, very smartly written.
Yeah.
The roast was a lot of fun.
It was, and I'm kind of curious now that we're ahead. I think the finale's next week, right? Or no, I think this is 14. Because I think the Christmas one was a slip in that it ended up kind of wasn't that the premiere for this season, or was that the end of last season?
So
it was the end of last season.
It was the end of last season, but I think it counted as.
I'm not sure.
I can't remember, but
right. But I think there are for some reason 14 and not 13 this season. I could be wrong about that. So I don't think we're not at the finale, maybe, but we're really close.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys want us to know too. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
So we're going to be kind of resolving this a little bit.
Yeah.
I assume by the end of the season we'll kind of know where what the Ted and Alexis, how the situation of Ted's incredible opportunity that he absolutely should take one way or the other.
Yeah. I'm assuming
how it resolves itself.
I'm assuming the finale of the season is going to be Cabaret.
Oh, of course, right.
Yeah, so which I really want to see. I want to see how that play turns out.
Sure.
I think it's going to go well.
Yeah, we're not obviously going to see a lot of it because let's face it, it's a 2-hour show, a 2-hour musical, in a 30-minute sitcom. We're going to get bits and pieces.
Hopefully, we get the highlights.
But yeah, exactly. We'll probably get a number or two, which I'm totally here for. And I hope it goes great. I hope Patrick and Stevie absolutely kill it. Because you love them both.
Love them all.
All right, we'll catch you in the next one, guys.
See ya.